Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this Unreal Engine 5 devlog video. Long time no see. And that is because of FS25. I have a lot of work with preparing my mods for the upcoming FS25, and after the release it will take me at least 3 or 4 months to produce quite a lot of tutorials and a lot of mods, and therefore my development for my own game is a little bit slower at the moment. So I can have 1 hour or so, sometimes very seldom. And yesterday I took a whole day, and I can show you something new. And here you see my Talundia testing world, and for my garden game. And I brought it to Unreal Engine 5.4, so the new version, which was already quite an accomplishment, but it was not so difficult. But now I'm in the modern version of the Unreal Engine, and when I had time to think about Talundia and about what would be the minimum viable feature list, so the smallest Talundia that would still be okay, I found out in the last month that it is not a small game. It is a medium-sized game. And as I'm a solo dev and I'm doing all this on my own, it would and I'm beginner. I am still a beginner and have to learn everything. It would never be possible to finish Talundia in 1 year, and that would be what I want somehow. Not a year from now, because that won't be possible, because there is a farm sim that takes me at least half a year from now. But then when I start with the development with full time, then it should take at maximum 1 year until the early access release. And for Talundia I thought it would take me at least 2 or 3 years. And then there is a rule, especially when you are not an experienced game developer but a beginner, then you should multiply this by 2 or by 3. So it would be 6 up to 9 years for Talundia. And that is nothing that I want to develop 9 years until my first game will be released. So I thought, maybe I come back to the idea that Talundia is not my first game, but I make a smaller game beforehand. And when I had my first landscape in Unreal Engine 5.3 and I was standing and having a look at the mountains in the background, I had this idea, I would love to have something like a hiking game, and where you can explore a landscape and maybe find this and that, and maybe sometimes sleep in a tent or so and so forth. And I would love to do this. And that's the idea that I came back. So right now I think Talundia will be my second game, and my first game will be this hiking game. And I hope I can release it rather fast after the release of FS25, because I'm so invested in this game. And Yeah, and I hope it will be fun. And then while I'm developing the hiking game, I develop quite a lot of features that I can also use in Talundia later in my gardening game. So this is the first prototype where I'm experimenting on. I guess the final version will look different, but in the similar direction. And we can go a little bit higher, and right now I have a landscape with 2 by 2 kilometers and a lot of rocky mountains, and because of those mountains it will take quite a while to hike through all this stuff. And hidden in these mountains and forests and so forth, there will be things that you can find, search and find. And you could find golden bowls, for example, or crystals. But you can also find apple trees and harvest them and eat the apples, because you will get hungry and then you need something to eat. And yeah, here as you can see we have lakes, there will be rivers as well, and beautiful waterfalls. And yeah, here we have quite a lot of rivers. And right now I concentrated on a small area. As you can see here, I made some narrow paths. I will have narrow paths all over the place, and but the best treasures are not directly beside the path, but more in the very hard to reach top of the mountains and so. And I have quite a lot of ideas how I can make it a little bit more difficult to find the very wonderful treasures. Yeah, but there will be houses, as you can see here, and we will go in-game rather soon. And some houses, not so many, so it will not be heavily populated, but it won't also be completely empty. And yeah, sometimes you stumble upon a house and there maybe you can sell your stuff or buy food or other stuff, and so you have some possibilities to meet other people. And the goal of the game is either that you complete sets of treasures, so you find all the golden bowls, for example, or all the crystals, then you could get an achievement and you earn quite a lot of money. And then is the question, for what do you need the money? It's obvious, to buy a house for yourself. And there will be different sizes of houses, small, medium and bigger. And the small house is cheaper, obviously, and then if you have more money you can buy a bigger house, and maybe this bigger house is big enough for you to have a partner in this. Then you can find a partner from those NPCs. And yeah, if you have an even bigger house you can have kids. That is the idea. And what you can also do is, when you come to such a house here close to a lake where the inhabitants go fishing, you can buy fish rather cheap, and then you go somewhere where is no lake, maybe like here, and you sell the fish for a better price. And maybe they have a garden and they grow potatoes, and then you can buy cheap potatoes there and sell them to the people over there. So it's not all about treasure hunting, but also about trading stuff and so. So it won't be that at every house you will get the same prices for everything. Okay, let's go inside. We start close to this area where I already have houses. We have to wait for the grass as always. And I placed a chest right beside our starting point. And right now there is no gameplay at all. It's only for your imagination that you can imagine, okay, maybe there will be a chest already at the beginning and you can open it and find maybe a backpack and a torch and some apples or such. That you have something to start with. And the guy here, this one, is not the final guy. We will have completely different people, more middle-aged themed, but this is somehow the brother of the woman from Talundia. It is really easy to implement, and therefore I like to use them because they are. I just have to copy them into my game and then click some things and then they are ready to run. And with the other people that I will build myself, it will be a whole project to bring them in game. So, and therefore I still have these persons that are not fitting so well. But it's better than a completely modern guy, I would say. So, and we will have the possibility to play as man or as woman. And when you have your own house later and you want to find a partner, then you can have a romance between everyone. So if you are a man, you can choose whether you want to be romantic with women or with men. So it won't be an obvious LGBT thingy, but if you want to play in this gay or lesbian role, then you can do it without any problems. Similar to how the Sims have been in the beginning. Yeah, you can meet someone and be romantic with him or her, and if you want, and if you don't want, you don't. And yeah, if you want to have kids later, when you have a bigger house, then I think small babies are that you get yourself are only possible if there is a man and a woman in this partnership, but that everybody can have kids. Maybe you can adopt kids from the village or so. Kids without parents that are alone, a little bit like in Skyrim. There you could adopt kids. Here I placed a simple but huge treasure just to show you, okay, there will be treasures. Sometimes they will just lay around and you can just collect them. Here we will have an apple tree, like so. So it is about finding and harvesting in nature. And here I have an olive tree, and I have it here because I love the tree. It looks so rustic. But maybe olives are not so perfect for this climate. Tell me what you think about it. It's not a special time and not a special region. It's just this area. And we could invent the climate that we want there. But all the other stuff is more like Central Europe or maybe Northern Europe. From the climate, it could be North America, and in the maybe Rocky Mountains or some area like that. And maybe olives are not so good, but this shape of the tree is so nice. Yeah, maybe we just do as we want, and then the trees can be of each kind. And here I already have some healing herbs, and you will be able to collect some types of herbs and then even maybe make some potions out of it or so. Simple productions is something that I'm thinking about. And maybe in the later stage of the game even angling will be possible. I think it would fit with so many lakes. Angling would be fantastic. And here I hit a bronze bucket. And the first house is already furnished. And there will be people, and you will be able to talk to them and to trade with them. And yeah, this is the furnished house. It has 2 bedrooms. So this is a type of house where you could have not only 1 kid but several kids, if you would own it. But this is an NPC house, obviously. Yeah, and then maybe let's go to this other house. Maybe later you will be able to swim, but right now not. And my idea of the timing is when I start working on it more or less full time, I want to have a free demo at Steam out as soon as possible. And yeah, then when it's good enough for an early access version, we will have an early access version. It will be rather cheap, this game. So no expensive AAA game, but more on the cheaper side. So the early access version, I think it will be below $10. And maybe when it's completely done and very nice, and maybe we will have several maps that are, so if you go to the border of the map, then you could switch to a different map and keep all you have on your body. And to enlarge it, I wanted to make a bigger map. I wanted to make at least 4x4 map. But then my computer froze, and even if I have a rather beefy but rather old computer, it was not able to handle this simple 4x4 map. And I didn't have trees on it and no buildings and nothing. And then I thought, okay, if my computer can't handle it, then other computers won't also. And I want that at least medium powerful computers will be able to play this. I don't want this game to be only available for full power gaming PCs. And therefore I decided to make the map smaller. It's only 2 by 2 kilometers now, but I think it's big enough for the beginning, because there are really quite a lot of mountains and it will take quite a while to explore everything because of this mountainous area. And yeah, but I'm already thinking about additional maps. So let's go a little bit further. Here a fisher will live. It's not yet furnished. And here I want to show you one example of a little bit difficult to reach treasure chest. And you can see this chest from further away. From here it's not so easy to see because we are too far down. But it's not hidden. You can see it and then think about how can I reach it. And this is just by a little bit climbing, and it won't be like that it's really difficult, like in a complicated jump and run game. It will be that you can reach it either with a little bit of fiddling around, or sometimes maybe with thinking. Maybe I make some bridges that switch from open to close and you have to find the switch, and so some puzzles to reach some places. And this here is just like having to find a way where you can go and to reach it. And it should be possible for grannies and kids to reach everything. So nothing for a hardcore jump and run gamer. Here we are. And we have a bronze treasure and a chest. Later we will be able to open the chest and loot everything that is inside and so on. And I want to make some deers and other animals every now and then, but this is for the future. And yeah, then about the name. It is not easy to find a nice name for such a game. If you want to have a word that is not so much available if you search it at Google, so it has to have very little what is the word for Suchtreffer? Search. So if you search for it, there shouldn't be a bazillion of websites with this keyword. And therefore it has to be something rather exotic. And I searched for quite a lot of name ideas, and I wanted to the name should have something to do with either hiking or being a tramp and searching and finding, or nature, or idyllic, and so forth. And should be rather short, it should sound nice, and it should be rather easy to pronounce it, at least in German and English. I would try it for other languages too, but most important for me is it should be easy to pronounce in German and English. And I know sometimes it will be pronounced different in English and German, but that is no problem, I think. It should just be like that you don't get a knot in your tongue if you want to say it in English. And yeah, now I have 3 names in the as favorite choices, and I haven't decided yet what I want to have. And the one is Idelys, so with an IDELY and S, because of this idyllic. And idyllic you can't take, it's all over the place if you search it, but Idelys is not so much all over the place. And I found it a little bit difficult to say this name. But this idea with the idyllic landscape speaks to me. The other thing, when I placed those buildings, I realized that those are from the same building pack that I used when I first started with the Unreal Engine. It is more than 2 years ago, it was 2022, and then I started discovering the Unreal Engine and I built a very tiny world with some houses from this building pack, and it was about finding Easter eggs. And so rather similar, walking around and finding something, but very, very tiny. But the basic idea was a little bit similar to this now. And I called this map Osterlik. Oster is the German word for Easter. And then I thought yesterday, maybe I should just call this game Osterlik, because it sounds somehow a little bit weird, and that is what I like about this name. This lik is typical for Scandinavian words, and it doesn't mean anything if you put it together with Oster or Easter. And as it is about finding, and at least in Germany, Easter, the Easter holiday, is all about finding Easter eggs and sweets. I think maybe it's not so bad. It's very funny and very weird in a way, this name, but somehow I like it. So this is the second choice, Osterlik. And the third choice takes this lik from in the end, and then I think it's more about finding. So the German word would be Findalik, and in English you would pronounce it like Findalik. It's weird too. Yeah, tell me what you think about those three names. So Idelys, Osterlik or Findalik. And if you like them, which one you like best, or if you don't like them at all. And if you have an idea for such a game where you roam around in such a mountainous area where only very little inhabitants live, and you find quite a lot of things or search for them, and can be pronounced in German and English at least, please write it in the comments below. I would be interested in new ideas, because I haven't yet decided for the name of the game, but I want to decide rather soon. And please write in the comments below what you think about this game itself, about the idea of the game and how I want it to make. And yeah, I would love to get some feedback from you. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.